Every day I wake up and I think to myself, what's the world gonna do to piss off God today? A new policy in Illinois now allows schools to have menstruation products and condoms available to all students. When Chicago schools open for the first time next month since the start of the pandemic, they will be stocked with both menstruation products and condoms. As per the new policy passed by the CPS Board of Education, schools that teach 5th grade and up must maintain a condom availability program as part of an extended vision of sexual health education. The policy that was passed recently was years in the making and had often hit roadblocks owing to its controversial nature. A significant section of lawmakers believe that the policy is a step in the right direction. Kenneth Fox, who is a CPS doctor and pediatrician, says that young people have the right to accurate and clear information to make healthy decisions. The decision to provide free condoms in schools elicited a sharp reaction from the critics, questioning the rationale behind teaching sex education to children between 10 to 12 years of age by providing them with free condoms. Taxpayers are also upset that taxpayers' dollars are being used to fund condoms into elementary schools. The policy so far has been that the principal of the school decides the matter related to sexual health and education. However, with the new policy, the principal's discretion is set aside, and all of the schools will now have to stock both menstruation products and condoms as part of their sexual health education. Now, I am all for menstruation products being promoted inside of the school system, seeing that young girls are starting their periods at a much earlier age now. The average young girl starts her period anywhere between 8 to 10 years old. So that I understand. But the problem is that menstruation and sex have nothing in common. To teach reproductive health to young girls who need to understand the anatomy of how their bodies work is very beneficial to the girls. However, young boys who have not yet even come into puberty and young girls who are at the beginning stages of puberty should not be learning about how to use birth control. Children in the 5th grade should only be learning about abstinence, period. I don't care what your religious preference is. The only thing that a child needs to know at 8 to 10 years old is how their body works and abstinence. When you show a child what they can do, they will do it. That's like telling a child, don't you dare go press that red button. They're going to say, well, what happens if I press it? And then they're going to go press it. It will be prematurely piquing their interest in sex. Just this month, we have seen a teacher teaching 6-year-olds how to identify the erogenous parts of their genitalia. This same teacher used that same method to show students how to pleasure their body in private. We also now have sex education being mandatory in schools. If I'm not mistaken, there are now 3 states out of the United States that are teaching comprehensive sex education to all grades, beginning as low as kindergarten. Your 5-year-old will now know what their sexual organs do and how to use them. Your 5-year-olds will now understand sexuality. Do you see the common theme? If you have not already done so, I encourage you to visit the website National Sex Education Standards, Core Content and Skills, K through 12. The website is www.siecus.org. condoms.org. I encourage you, if you're a parent, to visit this website to see exactly what your child will be learning when it comes to sexuality and sexual curriculum. This is the agenda. If you can get a child to understand their sexuality at a younger age, then the child will then be able to consent. Why do they need to consent? Oh, I know, because there's a group of pervs that have re-identified themselves as minor attracted persons, aka pedophiles, who now want access to your children legally. In order to avoid being punished by the law, you first have to get the child to consent. In order for the child to consent, you have to teach them. Go Google the law SB 145 that was recently approved in California. SB 145 is essentially California's pedophile bill. It now offers protection from sex offenders to prevent registering as a sex offender if the offense on the child or the person was within a 10-year gap. That means if a 22-year-old decides to take advantage of a 12-year-old, that person will still be punished according to the law. However, they will not be required to register as a sex offender. If a 21-year-old violates an 11-year-old, aka a 5th grader, that 21-year-old will still be punished by the law. However, they will not be required to register as a sex offender, meaning this pervert, this pedophile, could live in your cul-de-sac and you would never know. Because 5th graders are not going to be interested in having sex with other 5th graders. 10-year-olds are not going to be having sex with other 10-year-olds. They're going to attract the sexuality of those much older than them, because we live in a sick, perverted world where men and women prey on those much younger and much vulnerable than them. Imagine some weird creep who doesn't call himself a pedophile, but calls himself a minor attracted male or a minor attracted female, telling this child, hey, I see you have condoms. Would you like for me to show you how to use them? I can show you how to use it. I hope you guys see what's coming, because this was the agenda all along. I've posted content like this all over my social media. Every time I do, it gets taken down. So I won't be surprised if this video too gets taken down, because anytime you expose the agenda, they come for you. You have to be able to see it. It started with one movement. That movement then piggybacked off of another movement, and that movement then piggybacked off of another movement. It will continue to do that until the true agenda is met. The agenda is perversion. The agenda is to pervert the children, and the agenda exists because we truly have sick leaders who are sitting at the head and the top of the world, watching and puppeting the world. It doesn't get any realer than this. It may not affect you right now, but trust me, it's coming, because all it takes is one system to start, and then a whole rollout of other systems will then come after. Please wake up. If you're planning to send your child back to public school in August or September, whenever your child's school system starts, please take a look at this website and learn what your child will be learning. Request for the curriculum to be copied to you, emailed to you, mailed to you. You need to see what is going on inside of the school systems. If you have the resources and if you have the funds to pull your child out of school, whether you put them into a private school or whether you choose the option to homeschool, please explore your options. And if you don't have any options right now, pray on it. Pray for the protection of your children. Pray over your children every single day, because the enemy wants them. This topic is so stirring to me, because I have a 2nd grader, and to know that this is what he will be stepping into, I have to intervene for him. I have to advocate for him. It is only my job to protect him. And as a parent, you must protect your children. Our children are the future. They must be protected at all costs. But that is all that I have for this video. If you have not already, please do like this video, share it to a friend because the word needs to get out. Also, subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you can receive updates on when new videos are posted. If you haven't already seen, I have 2 pages now. I've got my original page, With Love Jaye, and I've also got my backup page, Walk in Purpose. Please do subscribe to both. Let me know what you think. How does this make you feel? Drop me a comment. But please keep your spiritual eyes open, stay prayed up, and keep your spirit guarded.